ekugqibeleni kwencwadi kaThixo wathi ohamba elila ephethe inhlwayelo uyabuya efe enovuyo ethwele isithuko ngoba akalilahla ithemba regardless of what she was faced with. And so remember, the life you live, it's like a grinding stone. It will depend on the stuff you are made of. You're made of stuff that comes out of faith. We have to remember, and it depends on the stuff you are made of. I want to narrate this story. And I'm inviting you to listen to this story with suspicion. And begin to ask questions. Mandindi in the narrative that he is presenting to us. This is our son to be as honest as possible in the narrative that I'm going to share. The story is documented in the book of Exodus. I often hear people say, you reap what you sow. And often when the Baba do message on dialogue, it sounds as a threat. As if and so if but I want to put it in the other way around. I want to argue that you reap what you sow. It's not a threat. I wish to use that same phrase this time around. And I want to enter this morning's message and this meditation in that very phrase to emphasize the fact that you may not know what you are doing when you do the little things with faith. So, never give up. Ngoba baswanyela benenyangisi bayavuna benovuyo. Atumbhaleli nalowo ohamba yoelila ephethe inhlwayelo uyakubuya yese evuya ethwele izithungo zakhe. Nasi isistory bethule. There is a woman that the author of the book of Exodus is making reference to. But the Bible we don't be the Amram. Amram ongumzukulu kaLevi. They were part of a generation of sons of Israel who arrived in Egypt. Now Egypt was a had just been given a new king, call him a Pharaoh. And this Pharaoh did not know who these people are. Actually, he did not care who they were. He did not care who their God is. All he wanted to do was to oppress them. He decreed an oppressive law upon the people of Israel. But we see in this narrative that the more uFaro eqindezela isizwe samaSirayeli, the more they multiplied. And I want to confirm into your multiplication. It was not only numerically. The more they were oppressed, the more they grew in faith. In the Bible, akathiko elixesha baqindezela uFaro, babesolo kubegama, banyakazela, bahanta, babanamandla amakhulu. You see, when the devil intends to oppress you, during the moment of your oppression, don't give up. Draw strength, develop faith. They did not only multiply numerically. What? Noma wontu wakaphandle eumsakala lo okaphakathina wasolube namandla esima. Ithi iBhayibheli kuthe uFaro kwibona lo meko woyika wakhupha umyalelo, because the boys were being born left, right, and center. And in the Bible, there were two women to be the midwives. In the Bible, wabiza maphakathi uFaro wathi yabona onyana bamaSirayeli baninzi banamandla kunathi. Izame sibalumkise hleze bande zekuthi ngexesha lemfazwe bahlangane neentshaba zethu ukusoyisa. Utonabalisa uFaro wamisa abathetheli bokufaka uviko ukwenza ngoba amaSirayeli acindezelwe ngakumbi ngemithwalo. Babakhela uFaro imizi enovimba, bayakha kwisixeko sasePitom, bayakha nakwisixeko saseRames. Bahlutshwa bacindezelwa ngoba uFaro ufuna basuke kulo thixo ebebathwele yonke le minyaka. But in the Bible, the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied. Ngoba ohlonyela enezinyembezi uyakuvuna enovuyo. Ithi le nto, you may not notice. You may not even realize when there is something good happening inside you, because you judge your progress. You measure your progress by the progress of other people. You are making some progress. He, she is progressing. And so, instead of looking at your own progress, you are threatened by the progresses of other people. Sometimes you even feel that you are collapsing under your burden. You may even wish Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Kumuntu pastor Paul kanti namandla. Kunga kanti namandla. And so your multiplication may not be determined numerically, but by the strength that you gain through faith. Abaqindeze ufana abadakasileyo bayenza khakha inhlalo yabo, abanikeza inkomo ngenkomo zemisebenzi. And then Pharaoh gave another instruction to the two women, Upua and Shifra, the midwives. And then he said to them, each time any boy child is born, suffocate him and throw him in the river Nile. In the Bible, they listened to him, but because they feared God, they did not act on the instruction. And it was under such circumstances that Moses was born. The cruelty of the Pharaoh in Egypt was at its peak when Moses was born. New lives of young boys were destroyed when Moses was born. Life in Egypt was not favorable for pregnant women to give birth to their children without fear. But right there in that Egypt, Jochebed, the wife to Amram and the mother to Moses, gave birth to Moses. Under such circumstances of the killing and the throwing in the river Nile of the boy children, life was difficult. Moses' life was in danger. Jochebed and Amram needed to do something to save their son's life. They would be filled with fear and panic each time Moses cries. Ngoba bamvalela phendlini abafuni okokuba iziphathamandla zaseJibuta zazi ukuthi khona umntana apha empezeni yaphehlela basondela bazama ukumvala umlomo ngoba kuzawuvakala ukuthi khona umntana apha azothathwa ayomphonswa emlanjeni naye. And so the life of Moses brought about fear and panic kubazali bakhe uJochebed noAmram. But the Bible says, then this woman, and this is the only time in the Bible where we are told about this amazing woman. The woman who brought him to life and protected her own son so that she does not disappear and is not destroyed by the leadership of Egypt. Lo mama sivalgaye kuphela kule ncwadi ukuba wayenza konke okusebandleni ukukhusela ubomi bonyana wakhe. And since they could not hide him anymore, ithi iBhayibheli lo mama wamenzela umkhombe wemikhasi wawatabeka ngebhethume netywina wamfaka umntana. Now the decree had said boy children must be suffocated, killed, and thrown in the river Nile. Now listen to what this woman is doing. She is creating a basket and she's putting a child in the basket. And she goes to the same river where they were instructed to throw boy children. She goes to the same river, being directed by faith. Ikatumane sithi okukaniseke bantwini kuzakwenzeka kuThixo. Ndizamthatha lo mntana, ndizamfaka kulo mlambo. Ubumele ukuba uyambulala ngoba ikatemane sithi ngalamanzi ngawakho, nalo mlambo ngowakho. Ayikho indawo endingeke ndisinde kuyo. Wamthatha lo mntana ngomkhombe wamfaka emanzini. Bekuthiwe makabulawe lo mntana ngaphambi kokuba afakwe emanzini. Kodwa unina uJosephine uthi ndizamfaka yena emanzini, but ndimfaka ngokholo lokokuba he is not going to perish. God is going to use the currents of the river to protect my son. God is not going to use the crocodiles in the river to protect my son. God is going to use the snakes in the river to protect my son. I hand my son into God's hand, even if I bring him into the river night. And I want to say to Wandabasha, it does not matter the river you are thrown in. It does not matter the dangers you are faced with. God is able. God is able. And so this woman made a chest. She made a chest. She made a wooden basket. But listen to what the Bible says. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to be honest to the narrative. I'm trying to be honest to the narrative. Listen to what this woman did. So this woman, according to the Bible, for 3 months, she had a journey to and from the river. But so when Charlie said, I don't fucking know. In Katika Jason Fuckers, I'm sheer. We are not going. I'm told we are the way. I'm going more, you're going to I'm going to call the Yagasa. I'm setting a pump of one moment. I forgot it over the city. Twice I'm a big one. Twice I'm a big one. That's what I'm calling. I'm saying, Twice I'm a big one, particularly flat. If I black I don't yake umfwabo kaMoses uMaria athi wena lindaba efesana jawulungisa ukutya ukwenza bakakuhatshela kasethi sawulanda lomntana ibe nento intyalo ashiye uMaria beyiBhayibhile abe kukuzulazula labe kukuzulazula ngasemlanjeni naye amehlo akhe semkhumbini elindena ntoni na elomehlela lomntana. He vipers from Chico. What did they mean before the end of the 3rd month? It is by Gravecli. In Tokaska Faro. Is Okupa. Ihamba Namakosasana. Abanekati. Yatika Manzini. Abakosasana Chigaresa. The Bible was sorted out the wall. What did I ovula? Why God in Breakwater? Yamila. Why Tata in Breakwater? Why Sister Nicosasana? Yasekosi. It is Bible that we chonka. Why the name? What Father no Sister City? This is somebody else's child. This is somebody else's child. Cannot look at the providence of God. Cannot Umelia Mutungi. But it's a bit petty. Or something Umelia. Or something Umelia. What when God has said, Kosi, I can assist. I can assist. I can find you somebody to nest this boy. For you. Don't give up. Don't give up. But before we get there, let 3 months, a man said, look, esiya kwi-River Nile and back home, ithi iBhayibhile ngoku ebemthatha unyana wakhe and put him on her lap and say to him, mfana wam, I may not be there when life changes for you. I may not be there. Uthetha kuye usenenyanga zintathu. Uthetha nalo mntana wakhe ngokholo. Uthi you may not understand, but when you grow older, the Holy Spirit will interpret to you what I'm saying to you at the tender age. I may not be there when the world changes around you, but I want you to know you are of the generation of Abraham. You belong to a God who, when your people came to the river Jordan and they were not able to cross, their God made a miracle and He opened the waters and we walked in dry land, because what you saw in faith, you will reap in joy. And there's a better Moses. Moses does not understand, but the heart is registering what God is saying through Moses' mother. Man saying I will 3 months. Man saying you got embarrassment ngezinto zikaThixo. Man sithi besihambile iminyaka emide mntana ndiyakholelwa ukuthi kwisi bazalwana baba what to say, judge your future by what God has already done. Don't judge your future by the dark giants on your way, but judge your future by the things God has done. And don't give up. Utikuthixo ndadigula wandiphilisa. Utikuthixo ndadilamba wandondla. Utikuthixo ndadihamba ndodwa ngumhlobo. And so judge the future by what God has already done. Don't give up. Don't give up. No, Mama, we are not getting 3 months. Mama, yena umntana ubomi bakhe busemngciphekweni futhi akayazi nini uba uzawuthini, kodwa yinye into abambelele kuyo. I'm not sure, but I think Unina Moses, she remembered the story of the Ark of Noah. What? Go call. Kuleto utikwa ingenzayo. Ngokulugcina nokulondoloza usapho lukaSelai lwangabhubhanga amanzi, ndizawusebenzisa okokholo in saving my own son. Wahlwanyela ngenyembezi. Ngoba uhlwanyela ngenyembezi vune novuyo. Wahlwanyela. I was not here in 1999. When that first Wesley killing started in this district. But those who were there planted a seed. They did not know what will happen 10 10, 20 years down the line. But here we are. Omuswanela kenyembezi. Yavuna enofaya. But I want to say to you this morning, there is nothing that faith cannot make noble when it touches it. There is nothing that faith cannot make noble when faith touches that thing. Atupale kalipale badalama Roma ati siyasike. Okokwa zonke izinto zisebenzelana okulungileyo kwaba bamthandayo uThixo kwababizelweyo kwinkambo yakhe. Ngoba sasihlwaye ngenyembezi siyavuma sinovuyo. And so every day, every afternoon, the basket floated in the river Nile. Sometimes surrounded by the insects in the river. Sometimes tossed up and down. Ufana nembewu iyahlukanela ngomakhulu wakho ongasekhoyo. Uwathi engenanto anokukwenzela yona wakuzise ecakwini. Ngoba kaloku ebefuna ukuba ube yimbe, and she knew or he knows if ngutatumkhulu kwamba he may not be there when you germinate. And he knew that the process of germination differs from the stuff that has been buried in the soil. They don't just need warm soil. They need the frost that comes from the winter before they germinate. And so you need winter season to refine you, because you've been sowed with tears, and trash will rip you with joy. Sometimes we face dangers of being carried away by currents of this life. President, the people you are leading are living in a time when all of us want to define and redefine God to suit our patterns of life. As is a habit, reinterpret God. And wants to qualify in lifestyle. We live in those times. We've been thrown into the river Nile. There are currents every day. I know young people, President, they want to part ways with a particular lifestyle. But as they drive up the highway to town, they see a billboard. A big billboard that advertises liquor. We are some go to just say, I want a billboard. I say you are better off when you have this. These young people are living in moments of distractions. These young people, they want about three by my leg, about fucking basket, a fucking bitumen. Whether the influences of the world do not penetrate, and that he or she is saved. And for 3 months, Joshua carried Moses, and Miriam will be there waiting until the arrival of Intobazana Kafaro. One time, Tobazana Kafaro, in the Bible, he was trained in the education of Egypt. He was trained in how to fight wars. He was trained in different languages. Little did you mean know. El que se tapa, entonces Kafaro, What is God preparing Moses for days to come? We are vulnerable. Mamela Benimi. Umesemunya uhambo lwakhe udibane noThixo esihlahleni esivuthayo kodwa singathe sitshe uthi umbhalelwe eBhayibhile kwavakala izwi liphume esihlahleni lisithi Moses indawo mekuyo ingumhlabathi olungileyo kulula iimpatata zakho. And then he remembered the journey that I have traveled. The way I have escaped life, it was God preparing me for this very day. Katekvele, uThixo uzawusebenzisa ke. Ukubuyela kuFaro, kukumkani waseJebuti. Athi xa efika khona ezawuthuma uThixo, wafakala esithi uThixo kuyo, iyakufaka. Ufika uthi kuFaro, undenguye. Uthumile okwamakhulule abantwana bakhe phansi kwentindeze. Little did Moses know that what his mother did when mothers, you see, you may be more educated than your mother, but your mother has been where you are at now. Your mother has been in the river Nile and she escaped. And so when your mother says to you, don't do that. Listen to your mother, because she is doing that not because she is doing that because she knows the cruelty of Egypt and she knows the pain of being in the river Nile. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't run away from the challenges of life. But don't give up either. Don't allow people who knew you before you are a member of the Wesley Guild to take you backward and remind you of the things of the past. Be able to admit and say, hey, well, that was then, this is now. Don't give up. But here it is. I hear somebody say, Mandindi, you don't know what I'm going through. I'm about to throw in the towel. God, this is Sama. Who you're the God? I'm not there. I am at the brink of giving up. Don't give up. Don't give up. I don't look down in your pains. I'm not looking down. I appreciate the pain you are going through, but I'm here to plead with you. Hold on the last bit. It's a process in something. It's a process in something. I want to say to you, Utipazanga can be said. Okwakwatasi wele milambo, utawamisa maji. Kotote can be said. Utikwatasi wele milambo, utawujela lampe mansi. Asipapeke zana, awele kudeta. God did not promise that when we go through fires, He will bring the fire extinguisher to come and extinguish fire. But God said that it is what can be healed. It's a blast factor need him the most. Don't give up. I'm pleading with you. I know the things the young people of South Africa are going through. I know all the men's doubts. I know the threats that are coming with the 4th Industrial Revolution. I know the many questions that the world is throwing at us. I know we may not have answers for all those questions, but all I'm pleading with you, hold on. Hold on. Whoa. Nabantu abakuthusayo ngezigulo eziphethe sumamela bona mamela uThixo esithi mna nginabantu bami ngamaxesha wonke yabaneka ngibagcine endaweni zonke. If you have to take a decision to stop a relationship with anybody because it's taking you backward, hold on. Draw strength and go to a person who has wasted your time and say, never conviction. Never conviction. I'm the funny nice one. Yeah. The way I've been relying on you all this time and you have manipulated me. Now, voy a mentir. ¿Cómo voy a mentir? The weird person, the young person that is sitting, I'm a Swahili Kenyan, but this is my time to leave you. And for as long as you are part of my life, there is no living that will happen. I'm begging you. Yes. My dear sisters, I'm begging you. And I'm praying for you at the same time. I know who man is passing up. I'm a si mana sese ingatinganga phela lefeki ngoba kubi emva ukufika khona ubi emisebenzini ungena emsebenzini office udibane nomfred passage ejonga kususa ezantsi abeyinusa behlise agqibanga kulisi kodwa unyamezeke. What do you think? Don't take that. Siko akabe mneke kule South Africa sikoma belunga ukuthi simfuye sisenomfumana simpisi esenokufa sicele ingalo yakhe isithukumisi esenokusinela ngoba yesu nikakatheka abosawuthi sipisa angeva sawuthi sifune ingalo yakhe okokuba sithukumise ibe yikude nathi kodwa this is the moment and this is the time. Remember, Jochebed built a basket and she put her son in it and she went back to the river Nile saying, the Uthangulomlam that was suffocating the life out of my son. But through faith, I'm bringing my child back and I bless God. What problem would survive on cities of Moses and on cities of now. And on cities of now. Yabanay ka pa. Banay ka pa. Nakapunay ka na. Waning ka. Waning ka. I was not a rapist. I did not go around stealing things from people. I thought I was a good boy because I grew up in the church. But I grew up in the church and I thought I knew God. We are deep in that. awukhuleleka ukukhuluma namazwi. What a man. Kwakuyini phakathi kwemini efana nemini uyabuya ebebuya ngayo ehamba ebuyele ekhaya. Ithi iBhayibheli wabambana nento wajijijija usuku bonke kwade kwafika imini yathi lento ebebambene nayo ubani igama lakho wathi akulibiza igama yavakala lengelosi kaThixo isithi kusukela namhlanje your name will never be that, you'll be known as Israel. Uthixo wawenza lo mmangaliso kuyo ngikhulele kwindawo bekuthandazwa kuyo. I enjoy singing. I enjoy being part of a home where there is prayer, but I never allow God to touch my heart. We are starting to take away as if from messing home, that it is in the racconti, so che si muovono, così che ti sai, si chiede non vedi, un po' tutto. Uma ulikosa leseke akakumfundisa ngani ngokukhuleleka uyayazi discipline kodwa noThixo akamazi uThixo wanyuka wabebeka ngoba uyakwazi ukuthetha hayi ngoba uyakwazi non fanno questa cosa per casa, Presidente, si saltano. E se io ti devo anche tu, e ben muore lui è, come ti desera, ma come cazzi. Ma fischia mi dice, ma o già la gente è buona e non fuori. E ti Bible, on this particular day, he was on his way. Non fanno o essa cosa facendo sangue o essa facendo papà che tutti qua una nell'aria fuori e come nell'aria all'aria tutti fatica quella una canto a setta ma si poi il hasebe amagato la messis la mega part e se God say Paul you used to be sorry you come from the soil and bring you back closer to the soil. Oba se upake megangaka nje ingatulibele ukusuka phansi. I want to remind you, whatever goes up is bound to come down. Wamshaliza phansi uThixo to make him smell the soil. In the Bible, utekeselele mhlabathini avaleka amehlo enyama. Ngoba uThixo efuna ukuvula amehlo kamoya. In the Bible, wathunyelwa umprofeti. Wathi xa efika kuye umprofeti wamfumana lo mfo ingathi ujongile kanti akaboni. In the Bible, umprofeti walibeka isandla sakhe ebusweni bakhe. In the Bible, yamnesizulu kwawa inkwethu emehlweni kaSawuli yaphakama le nsizwa. Yathi xa iphakama iseyiwo yavakala isithi konke bezikwenza ndishayinthipha ndiyakhohlwa komsemva ndiselulela komphambili ndibheke emkhombeni ngoba esithi ndisengumntana ndazenza into zobuntana ngoba usendimdala sendenza into zobudala. Wavakala lo mfo esithi for to me to live is Christ and to die is gain. Wavakala lo mfo esithi ngabo ke sendinamandla yintoni nakanye ekundahlukanisa nothando lukaThixo. Ingaba yibhangezelo, ingaba lusizi, ingaba kukuhambase, ingaba yindlala kodwa ekugqibeleni nayi yena yesizinto. What can help you?